What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Moguls. My name is Grant Finley Shearis, and on today's show, we're talking with Brian Shore, the VP of Business Development at Agent Image, a real estate website design company who has created some beautiful websites for people like Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing New York, the Altman Brothers from $1 Million Listing LA, Egypt Sherrod, the host of HTV's Flipping Virgins and Property Virgins, and many other top producing agents, especially those in the luxury and celebrity and athlete market. Their client list, if you go to their website, is actually really impressive. So go check it out. But for now, let's get to know Brian and Agent Image and learn why agents are using their websites and how they sold to these top producing agents, as I know some of you startups want to do. All right, and we'll get into some much more. So thank you, Brian, for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So give everyone an overview, like what is Agent Image?
Right, okay. Agent Image, we're a real estate focused, web design, branding, online marketing company. We've been doing this now for 20 years, so we're really one of the oldest in the business. There's little we haven't either seen or done at this point, right? 20 years in technology, especially online, that's dinosaur-esque.
Well, yeah, so what do you say, why do you see website companies fail, and why do you think your company's been able to stay around for so long?
I see a lot of companies that try to do a little bit too much at times. That find success in certain things and overreach, right? Where I think some of our success has really been the fact that we build some of the most beautiful websites in the industry, and when it comes to branding and being unique and building something that's truly special, compared to everything else out there, I think that's how we've really been able to sustain such, longevity, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's some agents who are like, well, I see you do really nice websites, and I see this other company does really nice websites. Right. Why would I want to work with you versus the other guys?
That's a good question, because there are a lot of companies out there that do great work. I do feel that we are a little bit better. Having said that, I think what tends to happen is where our success really shines through is not only the website, but also our support. And not only having built the amazing website for you, but also being there after it's launched, right? And making sure that your needs are being met. If there's issues arise, taking care of them in a timely manner. Was it always the case with us? No. In any business, we've been around, as I mentioned, 20 years. So along that lines, we had some bumps and bruises that we took when it came to support. When we realized that was something that we really need to bolster up, gosh, we doubled the division. So we went out and made sure that we got plenty of support staff to go with the amount of growth that we were sustaining. And it's really spoke wonders to what we're doing.
How many customers do you now have?
Oof. Well, I know that we've built over 20,000 sites total.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many do we keep currently? Gosh, about 5,000, something like that. That sounds about right.
Okay.
Sorry, that was one I didn't know off the top of my head.
What geographic area do you guys cover? Everywhere, or?
Well, we're national, but we're to the point now we're international. We have clients that are in, we're Dubai, Mexico, Australia. We have a few. I just met with a couple out of Britain. So we're going to actually be building a new site there as well. So we're international at this point. Now, having said that, nationally, we cover the entire country, but no matter what, there's always going to be a lot of, Los Angeles, San Francisco, parts of Texas, Florida, New York. Those are going to be kind of the hotbeds, right, where a lot of our clients are. But we are really kind of all across the nation.
Because it can get expensive. I don't know if you know, it's expensive to try to operate everywhere because the licensing fees, the data fees, all that stuff. So, how do you guys do that? Because other companies I've seen try to do that, and that is their demise because of the bad data quality and uniformity and the expense.
Right. and we have seen that as part of, as you mentioned earlier with one of your questions of, seeing some folks fail.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, as an example, IDX. Folks try to cover all the, various MLS boards across the United States. We never really wanted to get into that business. So what we did was we built a platform. We built on WordPress, and we're able to utilize the best in the industry. So like, as an example, IDX Broker, iHomeFinder, some of the folks that we've worked with for years. And we're able to incorporate their technology into our websites, so you basically get the best of both worlds, right?
So you guys don't have to take the burden on of building the IDX, but your clients still have an IDX on the website, and it looks and feels as if it's native to the platform.
Right, and no matter what, it's funny. Given our abilities to build, these awesome websites, we make those IDX providers look really good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, they pull together all this awesome technology for us, and we're able to utilize our strengths to make their stuff look awesome, and it makes our clients happy. So, clients happy, we're happy. IDX providers are happy, etc.
What does your team look like? You said you're around 200 people. So how's the team make up? Like, describe how many in this department, this department, this department.
Right. I mean, the bulk is going to be on the production side and the support side. So, I mean, given that we are building custom websites, a lot of that will consist of like art directors, web programmers, digital strategists. So you have a lot of that on the production side. Support side, I want to say that we've bolstered up to approximately 50 support staff or so. As I mentioned, we doubled it.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal for us in our growth. And then I want to say we're out on the sales side. Gosh, I want to say we're ballpark 20 people.
Cool.
Maybe a little less. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Okay. Now you have 3 products. You have a simple one, a semi-custom one, and a fully custom one. How would an agent choose which one to buy?
Well, it can be a number of factors. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like budgets don't exist, right? Not everyone can afford the thing that they want all the time. So for that, the entry-level product, the way we try to build it out is that it's kind of out of the box, ready to go. Ready to, whether you're a veteran or a brand new agent, it has the abilities of the same thing that a semi-custom website would have. It's just not going to have the aesthetic appeal as a semi-custom website would have. Whereas a semi-custom website might be someone that's really ready to kind of, separate themselves from the herd a bit, and really kind of start branding themselves and start having that unique individual look versus, the box, the template, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then, for something that's more custom, gosh, that's really dependent upon your needs. Some folks need something that's a little bit more bolsterous when it comes to their featured listings, right? If you have somebody like the Altman Brothers, they've got like a $20 million listing. Yeah, whatever we had on the semi-custom level might not cut it, right? So yeah, we're able to kind of adhere to more of what the needs are versus, hey, this is our box, let's see if we can stuff your business in that box. No, usually it's more of a conversation on, okay, what are you trying to do? What are your needs? Okay, let's do that.
Now, a website is one piece of the puzzle, and so I find sometimes agents forget about the other investments they're going to have to make in their time as well as their money to make that investment in their website really work.
Right.
So what are the things that you educate your clients on that's saying, if you're going to make this investment in your website, also you need to think about making investments here as well?
Gosh, I wish I could just record that and play it over and over and over to every single person I've ever spoke to about buying a website. I mean, no matter what, first and foremost, have an online presence, right? If you're giving advice to an agent, have an online presence. Make sure it's professional, right? And make sure it's consistent. You know, your Instagram, your Facebook, your website, your signature at the bottom of your emails and all your email blasts, etc. Make sure your branding's consistent across the board. Now, as far as, you know, driving traffic, if you will, to the website, because if you throw up the website, yeah, it's a beautiful billboard that's out in the desert, not on its way to Vegas, right? Now, you know, driving traffic, you're going to have things like search engine optimization. Do the little things like do a blog, your social media. But the thing is, if you do all this, have all roads lead to Rome, right? Rome being the website, everything else should be pointing towards it, right? To keep consistency and to keep your online brand right there in one place. So if you do, you know, awesome interviews or whatever it may be, make sure it's pointing back to your website, you know, agentimage.com or, you know, whatever it may be, right?
Do you have any, now, have your company ever thought about offering those things?
Help with social media, stuff like that?
Yeah, like if they also need to invest in these things, does your company also offer these things, or did you really decide to stay in your lane?
No, I mean, actually one of our strengths, so our strengths have been web design, branding, and really internet marketing. And when I say internet marketing, primary focus being on SEO. So do we do SEO? Yeah, absolutely. Is it for everyone? No, because some folks don't have the budget that's there to really kind of go for it. Having said that, we have awesome coaches that that's kind of what we call our web marketing strategists, our coaches, because we do want them to get benefits out of, you know, being an Agent Image client. And it's like, all right, well, if you can't afford what we do from an SEO perspective, just to let you know, these are the things that we do. And these are the things that maybe can help you until you're ready for a professional to take over and start doing it for you. Things like that.
So shout out to Unzish, who's on my team, who one time she was like, I feel like we should call the people in this department website marketing strategists. And we all looked at her like, why would we do that? And that's so funny that you guys have that.
Yep.
So Unzish, maybe we should start calling you and your department website marketing strategists.
When I was first hired.
Everyone was like, what is that?
Yeah, I know, it sounds funky, right? When I was first hired, that was my title. My first title at Agent Image was a web marketing strategist.
Talk to me about the competitive landscape and how I'm a consumer for websites. So the competitive landscape for websites, it's like, here are these buckets that you can choose from. How would you describe that to people?
It's competitive.
Yeah.
No, really the way I kind of look at it is, you know, first of all, there's plenty of room. Okay, there's over 2 million agents right now, I think, in the United States. Don't quote me on that, but you know,
1.4 in NAR and others independently.
Right. So there's plenty to go around, right? And everyone that sees success in this particular industry wants to try to get in. And you know, some of these folks really do have great ideas and are good at what they do. But the way I look at it, you mentioned like buckets. So there's a few buckets where I feel like folks that are really good at the web design aspect of it, right? Branding, marketing, stuff like that. That's one bucket. Those are, I feel like, you know, folks that are in the upper echelon, if you will. You have also the bucket that are really good at like lead generation, right? That have taken the concepts of maybe it's sourcing, like farm sourcing, you know, various keywords, etc., and creating a lot of leads out of that. Lead generation websites, we all the time, even Agent Image, there's plenty of other companies that are out there that we go through and we see what they do, and we're like, if it's working, don't stop. You know, we're just another avenue of where potential is going to flow through. You should not cut off something if it's going to work. We're not there to try to outsell the other company. No, use that. Like as an example, Boomtown. Boomtown's a great company. They do pretty good, you know, website work as far as, you know, the template that they put together. but their primary focus is to bring in leads. Great, no problem. If that's working, don't stop doing that. That's the way we look at it. And then, you know, obviously those different things, technologies that are like, how do I put this? Almost like accessories. Like as an example, the 3D mapping stuff that's going on, right? It's really cool, virtual reality, virtual tour stuff. I feel like that those are all accessories to what you can add to the website, right? So the competitive landscape, yeah, it's competitive. Otherwise, you know, conferences like this, Inman, if you go down there, you see a whole floor on the expo of nothing but all this great technology that folks are coming out with, right? Some are going to stick around, and some, unfortunately, we're not going to see in a couple of years.
So what I kind of heard was, you know, you can, based on your budget, you got cheap, semi, fully custom, but then the focus is either your brand or lead gen.
Right. Well, no matter what, I think the cool thing is with branding is something that you can do almost for free, right? As long as you're consistent with something, that is your brand, right? So if as an example, if we build you out a logo and the logo's, you know, got pink as part of it, and every single time folks see you, you're always wearing pink, or you have a pink button, or whatever it may be, right? Frederick Eklund, he has those funky socks. That's kind of his thing, right? Those are those little things of branding. Those are the like attention to details that are basically out there. Everyone can do as long as you stay consistent. The lead generation thing. The lead generation thing is going to be a little bit more effort, right? That's where, yeah, you build out the beautiful website, you build out the branding, you build everything out, and then once you get to the actual lead generation portion, usually you need help. I mean, I'll plain and simple, you know, not everybody knows how to go out and just drum leads up, especially when it comes to online. Have someone that you know knows what they're doing to at least get you started. And that's why some of these real estate coaches that I hear, that there's such a good avenue to at least get a little bit of information to learn and make, you know, some good choices.
Let's talk about, you know, there's a lot of startups who watch this and they want to sell, they want to get their product out there, and you've been successful for many years doing that. So like, describe the current sales and marketing process for Agent Image and how you guys get clients.
How we get clients? Well, I mean, I don't know if there's a realtor in the United States that hasn't received an email from Agent Image at this point. So I don't know if you're a younger startup that you're going to have that kind of database, but you know, don't cross off any avenues. Just kind of grow with those avenues, right? As things come together with social media, learn social media and learn how to get things out of it. Learn how to maneuver within social media to go, you know, take it to the next level. I see folks all the time, agents all the time too, that are really just very creative in the way they're using it. Find a way to use social media for your marketing and go that route. I already mentioned the email marketing.
Do you guys still cold call?
Oh yeah. We still have guys that cold call. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not as big. It's a little bit more of a sniper approach nowadays when it comes to cold calling, just for the fact that, you know, we see a lot of times what will happen, and you know, given our style and what we do, is we have a situation where we see, you know, maybe it's a great agent that's one of the top producers in Florida, and one of our guys sees that the website looks like it's from 2005, right? Of course, he's going to call him and say, you really got to see what we do here. That's about the extent of our cold calling.
Got it. Do you do a lot of face-to-face meetings, or is it all inbound? Or with the phone, all inside phone?
I mean, the majority of our sales team, et cetera, yes, it's all over the phone or over the web, you know, some FaceTime stuff. But yeah, with myself, yeah, I actually make in-house. Sometimes I'll go all over the Los Angeles area, doing in-house presentations to agents. And usually a lot of those presentations are more coaching, to be honest with you, not really a sales thing. I don't like sales. I've gotten to the point where I'm not really kind of into the sales aspect. I'm more of a, wanting to teach you and get you to figure it out. If you figure it out on your own that we're, what you need, perfect.
Yep.
Then I did my job.
What are your thoughts on, scaling a sales team? Do you like scripts or do you not like scripts?
I think scripts are really important. So, to this day, the man that hired me, his name's Greg, I still have the script that he gave me, and the script hasn't changed that much. Sure, we tweak and adjust it, and the way that we always taught our sales team is use this as kind of a basement, almost like a roadmap. Feel free to wander around. Nobody wants a robot on the phone. That's awful.
Yep.
People. That's a person on the other end of the phone. Treat them like one. Make sure you hit on your points, but at the same time, talk to them. Find out what their needs are. Find out what where they're falling short, where they need help. That's where you're going to really kind of connect with folks, not really going down just straight down the thing.
Now, what do you do? What do you say to the sales guy who goes too rogue, and he just starts going all way too off map?
Well, it depends on what his numbers are. To me, the way I look at it, as long as he's selling appropriately and doing right by the clients, and not over promising, I'm fine with we're pretty loose. Let's just say that the typical attire in our company is board shorts and a t-shirt.
That's cool.
So for the most part, we let our guys kind of do what their personality feels natural, right? And I always I really love sports. So the way I look at it is, whenever you see like a basketball team, your Raptors, whenever you see like a basketball team out there, usually when they're playing loose, that's when they're playing the best. So that's really kind of the way we approach our guys, is we really want them to smile. We literally say, hey, man, make sure that when you're on the phone, you're smiling. They can feel that on the other end of the phone. Play loose and you'll play great.
What does your tech stack look like? Like, what's the CRM that you guys use? What's phone systems do you guys use? What is that tech stack that helps you operate your sales and marketing?
So, thank goodness we use Salesforce. I say thank goodness because I was already very efficient in it prior to coming here. So, we use Salesforce and it's wonderful. It's a reason why.
What's your phone system? Do you guys use cell phones or VoIP or?
We use Jive, which is a voice over IP. But to be honest with you, we use all forms of communication.
Yeah.
Our guys are using text messages, social media. We do very little outbound emailing from our CRM system. I teach my guys to actually be personalized. Yeah. People don't want a mass email. We really kind of discourage our guys from doing mass emails just for the fact that, for one, we're doing them already. So they don't need to be bombarded and get used to deleting emails. But people recognize, people remember, a personalized thing.
What's your sales cycle like? Like, how long does it take to engage a client, get to know their needs, and have them be like, yeah, let's do it?
We work with real estate professionals. They can be a little, touch and go, right? They're busy, and we understand that we're not the first call that they're going to pick up, right? We get it. I would say the typical sales cycle is somewhere around 1 to 2 months. Reason being is that, we don't just have that out of the box, solution. Mm-hmm. If we were a template and it's like, which one do you want, A, B, or C? And these are all the prices, pick a box. I think it would probably be a lot, and plus we're not the cheapest in town. Mm-hmm. The sales cycle will probably be a lot smaller. Given the fact that we build unique things and the websites and just the overall consideration it's an investment. It's part of the client, the agent, investing into themselves and trying to understand of how they're going to budget this with the rest of everything else that's going on. Because I mean, we definitely encourage our agents. Look, you know, we don't want all your budget, but some of it definitely should go to your website. Mm-hmm. That's a very important aspect of your online presence.
Do you guys track? So here's the amount of leads that we get in, and here's our close ratio. Like for every this many leads, we tend to get one out of this many to be a good fit and to come on board. Because startups want benchmarks. They want to know, like, if they're doing well or not.
Yes and no. I mean, again, given the fact that our sales cycle is kind of wishy-washy, if you will, given that we are a little bit, more of a custom thing, it's really hard to put a number on. I mean, gosh, I've had clients that call me, even to this day, even though I'm not working, on the sales side as much. They'll call me out of the blue and say, "Hey, we're ready to do a website." I'm like, "I haven't talked to you in like 2 years. What's going on?" That happens a lot. It really it's tough to put a ratio on it. We don't really have a lot of those one call closes. Maybe once every, you'll get one a month maybe.
Yeah.
So for the most part, it is a lot of pitch and chase, if you will.
So let's talk.
Having said that, don't give up. What I always kind of teach our guys to, folks are going to remember the way you treat them. More importantly, they're going to remember the way you made them feel. They're going to remember the feeling, not so much of what exactly you did, but they're going to remember the way you made them feel, and the suggestion that you gave them. Whether you close it then, 2 months, 3 months, or a year from now, they're going to remember you, and don't forget that. And that's kind of the way we try to go, our philosophy, and more of that family kind of situation that we have at Agent Image.
So give me the story of how you got Ryan Serhant or the Altman brothers, whichever one that you know better. How did that whole deal come into place?
Well, right now we only have for Ryan's website, it's like a one that's not really commercialized at all. So that one's, Ryan since has built his independently, so he's no longer technically with us.
Right.
The Altman brothers. The Altman brothers were with us way back when. And just through us staying persistent and showing how much better we were getting at design and some of these, beautiful sites that we built for some of the folks like Ro Habibi up in San Francisco, Kofi Narte, who I believe is one of the speakers here at Inman this year, Egypt Sharad. We showed them, some of these great websites and some of the great websites that we built for folks that they had never heard of. And they're like, "Man, this website is better than mine." And it's like some Joe Schmo that's in Montana, right? So they really kind of saw our work. And I mean, we're lucky in that respect, right? That we have some of the best designers, some of the best programmers. We have a really talented staff. And quite frankly, that's what folks like the Altman brothers, folks like Aaron Kerman or Sally Forrester, those folks see the attention to detail, because that's what they do in their everyday life, right? Mm-hmm. Is those details that really kind of make the difference. And I think that that's what they connected with. And the fact that we're not robots.
All right, well, let's end with I got some lightning round questions.
Oh, boy.
Just say what comes to your mind.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite city in the U.S.?
Los Angeles.
What's your favorite sales book?
Ooh. Sales book. Gosh, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was given to me years ago. Come back to me on that one. I might have to.
Okay. Who are your idols and role models in business? Who do you look up to and follow?
Honestly, the man that hired me, Greg Pitsley.
Cool.
The reason why I bring him first and foremost is he leads by example. Which that's always been one of my things is, don't talk about work, go out and work, show me. And Greg, from day one, when he got me in there, I tried to do whatever I could to not only work as hard, but try to beat him every day, kind of thing, right? I'm pretty competitive.
That's cool.
But that's one. My father, actually, being another. My dad, for a long time, worked in the financial, he was a financial advisor. Worked his butt off, but now I think he's actually taken a turn into the production, into musicals and plays. And I see his level of happiness now in doing something that he loves to do that I'm starting to learn a lot from. I'm learning a lot more now than I ever did when he was a financial advisor, because there's some emotion behind it. And that's been really inspiring.
Who do you follow for sales tips and training?
Tom Ferry. We also have a couple of close relationships with some coaches that we work with, like Tony Giordano, Aaron Keith, Suzanne Murtha. But yeah, I mean, we drink the Tom Ferry juice, right?
Cool. Cool. Are there any technologies or apps that you personally could not live without?
But Gmail. I mean, I could not live without Gmail. Instagram, now that it's you gotta be on board, right? Yeah, my email. I'm pretty much attached to that thing 24/7, and text messages. That's just, I mean, we try to run things to where we're available. When I say we, me and maybe a couple of the owners are available to our clients, you know, at the drop of a dime. So yeah, text messages and email for sure.
Okay. Last one. What's your favorite closing line?
Let's get this done. That's literally, let's get rolling. That tends to be when everyone has a smile on their face. The deal's already done. It's just moving forward. Let's do it.
Right on. Well, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
As always, if you haven't subscribed yet to the podcast or the YouTube show, please do so you can get to know more people in the industry, so you can learn about the industry from all the different angles, from all the different leaders. And so stay tuned for more episodes coming soon.